Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Kamen Geats DX Fever Slot Raise Buckle. So this is yet another individual raise buckle release. However, this one's actually special because it's just kind of like the beat buckle as it wants to fall. This one does have sounds. However, this is actually one of the first of the raised buckles to actually have its own like original sounds, not pre-programmed within the Desire driver. And honestly, this one's probably one of my favorites of the packages just because it's actually nice. They show the 5 core riders and that like I assume these are the actual suits and not just illustrations. So they actually went through the effort. And I just like the, you know, I guess celebrativeness of this one. So again, this one only includes the Fever slot, QR code for the PDF file, and the back. Again, like there's actually more pictures, which is like they actually went through the effort to take these pictures, and then to the point like there's Boost Fever, and it's like wow, they actually tried. Here we have the buckle of its package. Just keep in mind that this one's actually wrapped in bubble wrap, probably due to the chrome and such. But yeah, this one is definitely heavy for sure, just because of it having its own set of electronics, circuitry and such. However, like I really do like this one overall, just how gold it is, even though technically the only pure gold on this one is the chrome. Everything else is kind of mustard or gold, and which I think it's fine. It definitely sets itself apart. Also really like the stars at the front here. Don't really like how thin this one is, but I feel like it just kind of helps out. This one's actually pretty full because, you know, because of the fact that it actually has to have electronics, this one is no longer hollow, which is pretty neat. The back part is definitely interesting because this is the QR code for Gamba Rising, and this is actually one of the very first tracks that are actually going to be hard to actually see. This one is 074. There's the reset button, the pull tab right there, and then the front here, obviously, we have the slot like so. So we have 3 question marks, and then you can either, obviously like a slot machine, what do you call this? You push this down, or you lever it down and such, which is pretty fun. It's just kind of difficult to actually get it to work properly. Or unless mine's wearing off. But I don't know, like basically you kind of have to have it like at an angle to actually have it properly slot through. But I mean, alternatively, you can just simply twist this. So again, here we have the question marks. We have Magnum, Zombie, Ninja, Monster, and Beat. And I really like how they hid the speakers through here. I think that's actually pretty neat. And that they mirrored it down here. So when we have this, or when we press this down, when we don't have this in the Desire driver, we just get an activation sound for the buckle. And I just held it down so then you can actually hear the sound, because if you just let it go immediately, the sound of this muffles it and such. Yeah. So let's actually, before let's actually quickly show off the trigger that's actually going to press the Desire driver, which is actually really interesting. I really like how this is probably the most unique one we have, just because it's a peg that goes down. it just goes along with the slot machine motif and such. So yeah. So obviously, we'll actually show the fever slot by itself first because it's not any different. And basically, the way the fever slot works is that actually we'll keep the tap in because if we were to just slot it into the desired driver like so, the track this one is specifically is one that will emit the all 7 colors, and basically obviously not do anything and such. And basically we'll just, you know, go cycle through these colors even when you do a finisher and such. And because we do have to bring this up, revolving on is still active. So when basically the way this works is that when you slot this in, there's this protruding button on the side that lets this thing know that it's slotted in the desired driver. So basically, when we slot it in like so, we get this really upbeat standby, which obviously is simply waiting for us to push the lever down. So that's basically the summary of using the fever slot. So if we were to slot it down again, there we have the finisher. I don't know why I said summary when I just did the transformation, but basically what's neat with the fever slot is that you can't just keep reinserting it in an attempt to get the one that you want, or you can just keep twisting it and such. However, we'll try to do some of the core ones. So like, you know, we can pretend that we are boost, revolve on, and then so basically what raised buckles do when they're paired up with a track that has no sounds is that when you rev it, all it does is just say the name as it's waiting for this one to actually be activated. So basically when you get the question mark, you get the golden fever, which is basically supposed to be a randomizer. So it can literally be any of the like 5 like main raised buckles, or it can be, for example, what they show, boost or an armed weapon. So I think that's pretty neat. So at this point, this is Geats boost fever, to which the finisher is still the same. And obviously when it's the finisher, it doesn't matter which, like, it doesn't matter which point it's at. However, boost, when we rev it once, it now adds hyper in front of the buckle. But if we do it twice, So basically, any buckle that doesn't make its own sounds, that makes its own sounds, adds hyper in front of whatever buckle you applied it to. So if I were to revolve on yet again, and the revolve on LED for this track specifically is the 7 LED. We'll take Magnum, and technically, Geats can become Magnum Boost in this state. It's just not obviously conventional because this thing's upside down. So this time, we'll just show actually trying to get Magnum. So, just slot them both in like so. And then, Magnum's interesting, as if you tried to do its gimmick, you can only spin it. So, luckily on the first try, we did get Geats' Magnum Fever, to which if we were to do the finisher on Magnum, as I showed before, it will just add hyper in front of the traditional finisher, and the finishers here are the same. Yeah. So let's try to do Buffa. So obviously this is way later in the show. This was not a thing when this thing initially got released, but Buffa does have basically a mid-season power-up with the Fever slot within the second Desire Royale, to which I don't know. I don't remember how it... I think to basically emulate that transformation, sometimes when you try to slot 2 buckles at once, basically it kind of depends, I guess, which one is red. So basically you need this one, you need both of these to say set. So for example, that's technically not accurate. That's technically Fever Muso. So yeah, here's Buffa Zombie Fever or Zombie Fever Muso. Whatever one. Because this one, I guess, is special because he actually does do this. And let's just hope that we can actually get the last one he does. We're doing that again. We're not... Okay, we're not... Yeah, sometimes, like, obviously the two don't really correlate. Because it's just... It basically skips doing this sound, so I guess you have to wait. Real-time... real-time struggle. I think I just entered test mode, because... sometimes, so you didn't see there, that just went through a red LED, because sometimes when you have these buckles, sometimes when you try to slot these buckles in, it'll just do that. We can't get this. It didn't even acknowledge that. Gosh darn it. What? There's our last one. Fever. Buffa. Monster. Fever. What do you call this? Because this is technically monster. Zombie. But, like, is it still zombie fever muso monster? I don't know. This thing can still be used within the Magnum shooter, though very interestingly. As it says great, and then if we were to try to slot it. Sorry, but yeah, this thing is pretty impressive on this thing, just because it's basically the same. It's just like the right size, honestly. But yeah, I think I went on way too long with this thing, but yeah, overall, this is a pretty satisfying buckle. I know most people don't like the randomness of it, but it's a slot machine. Of course it's going to be random. It is annoying for videos, but I kind of cheat it again by just turning this, because yes, I know you should, for like a demonstration, you should probably authentically get, you know, the one that you need, like in one take, but honestly, it's just for the ease of myself of recording these. It's just like, well, I'm glad this thing exists. And just, it's just nice that this is basically still, like, it's a power-up buckle to an extent, but it's one that basically, you know, I like that it exists, so then, like, you're not forced into having to get, like, two of the same buckle. Actually, like, for example, like, if you want beat, you don't have to own two of them. So, other than that, like, you know, and it also just helps, you know, with actually rewarding the, you know, consumer on the Core 5 Riders. Just because it's actually nice that at least our Core 5, it's basically kind of like the Dragon Knight Hunter, I guess, of this series, where everyone does get upgraded to an extent, but like other than that, like, it's a really solid first it's a really solid buckle that gosh, it's a really solid first look at what these buckles can do that have their own sounds. It might not be much, but I at least appreciate it has 6 variations of the transformation and then one finisher. I feel like it does enough, especially with the Golden Fever. That's supposed to be like just everything all up in the air, basically. But yeah, I had to do this review because I need to cut out 5 minutes. This is Ryder, and I'll leave you people. Bye.